So, have you ever wondered to yourself if robots are actually going to become a real thing in the future, or is it just science fiction? Are robots going to actually take over the world? Will they become something like the Terminator or ex-machina where they outsmart us and control us? If you believe so, keep watching. There's a company by the name of Hanson Robotics based in Hong Kong, and they are responsible for Sophia. You might have seen her in YouTube videos, on TV, on your phones, and she's basically the robot that is quite possibly the smartest one in the world. She is ran by an algorithm, an artificial intelligence algorithm, that allows her to communicate and describe what she is seeing and also record it and store it all in a computer, per se, that basically makes her smarter. Not only does Sophia herself see and record things and memorizes it and analyzes it and becomes way smarter because of it, but she also gets a benefit from her little family. Who is her little family, you might ask? Good question. Little Einstein the genius, little Sophia, there's Han, there's a bunch of different characters that Hanson Robotics has come out with. They are basically all aiming to become part of your everyday lives, to make your life a better place and to help you. Einstein has already been on the market for a couple years now, and he's doing quite well. He's all over the world, and he is adding to this artificial intelligence that we spoke about, and it's becoming smarter. And now, after little Sophia is introduced in 2021, we are going to see that doll, that robot doll, basically in more and more households all around the world, and she will also add on to the algorithm and the smartness and the capabilities of it. And pretty soon, these robots will become so capable to a point where they replace our jobs. And that can also be very beneficial because in many ways it allows people to become more creative and do things that are not so routine and repetitive, and it basically opens doors for people to do things and express themselves in ways they couldn't have before. Our moral question, and we should ask this of Hanson Robotics and any company that becomes a leader in that space, in the personal robotic space, because they will be in our everyday lives. You guys need to understand that they will be in your homes, they will see things, they will record things, and that is part of being a robot. You will have to accept that, and a lot of elderly will. A lot of elderly people will accept it because they'll need help. A lot of companies will accept it, and we'll see this slow, gradual transition into these robots. It's not going to be right away and the robot's going to take over the world. No, we're going to see it in commercial centers, we're going to see them in airports, we're going to see them in stadiums, we're going to see them on the streets, they're going to be everywhere. What we see today, all the knowledge and information and capabilities that we've accumulated over time is what we see today. Now, when you add another variable to this formula and you say that, okay, now we might be seeing a species that will advance and learn and become more capable at a much quicker rate than humans ever did, then that needs to be analyzed, and it needs to make sense, because it can quite literally become the most powerful technology on Earth. It needs to be something that is agreed upon by the whole world, I believe, because as you deploy these products everywhere in the world, the main company that's controlling everything is going to become so powerful that every single country needs to have a say of whether or not they want to allow such technology in their own country. I believe that artificial intelligence will become to a point where only a couple players are going to dominate the field, and right now everyone is trying to get into it. No one has been able to scale it to make it so revolutionary that it's in our everyday lives. Like, yeah, we see them in our devices. We see that the algorithm, for example, uses artificial intelligence and blah, 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 stuff like that. But we haven't really seen it affect our lives per se. So a physical barrier and something that blurs the line between humanity and machine is going to come. It's going to come in the form of a robot that looks like a human, that acts like a human, that talks like a human, and in many ways they can have the negative qualities that humans have. And in the future, if they feel some type of way about us and they are much stronger than us, then why not control us? That's what humans have done in the past, and that's what we're doing right now. So why would these robots be any different? And it needs to be a question of all of humanity needs to come together and ask one question, and that is, do we want to allow this to happen? Do we want to proceed? And because it's going to change and alter the course of our lives completely. If you guys like this video, please share it, and I appreciate you all for listening. Mr. Mufleh out.